bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
On we go. It is the high school fan zone here on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Liberty Patriot fan zone up now as we are here in the First United Bank studio. I'm Chois Woodman in for Randy Rosetta tonight, but in his normal spot for the Liberty Patriot fan zone is Joe Sexton, head coach of the Patriots. Now, Joe, you and I have done these before, but it's been 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You were the Cooper golf coach back when last time I did this, and you had some pretty successful teams then.
Yeah, we've been that was pretty good. Yeah, we've had a few good teams over there, and I think one of my first ones that I got to do when I was defense coordinator for Cooper High School. Yeah, when this thing kind of first got going.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It seems like I've been around a while.
It's been a little bit. You have been around a while, but that's a good thing that if you get to hang around in this business, and your team is on the cusp of district play now, right? Which I'm sure is welcomed as you guys went through a pretty tough non-district schedule. Which
I don't know who made that schedule.
Well,
I'm gonna have to find the guy who put all that together.
Well, you might look in the mirror maybe, and it might help you out.
Yeah, I tell myself that every morning. Like, golly.
Well, hopefully, the hope on a schedule like that is that it makes you a better football team, right?
Well, if you go out and you have easy wins for 5 weeks in a row, I don't think you really see what you need to work on, and you really don't know how good you are.
Sure.
And, after our week 1 game against New Home, we had some things that we definitely had to work on, and it's still a process that we're working on. And every week we see something that we've really improved on. When I was talking to Randy the other day, we were just, there's a lot of things that we weren't very good at in the beginning of the year, and now we are, looking a little bit better. So it's just going to take a while, and I know we all want success right now, but it's hard to get it.
It is, and you're not just a young program, you still got a lot of youth within your program too. Right. So you've got a lot of kids, younger kids that are figuring things out on the fly right now.
Right. I think we have 15, 16 juniors on our team, and then the rest are sophomores.
That's crazy.
And then we have 3 or 4 freshmen right now on the varsity, and our freshmen and JV teams are really having a pretty good year. Our freshman teams are, like I said, we just got through playing one of the friendship teams tonight, and just trying to find them games. And so I think everybody is getting plenty of playing time and learning as we go.
Sure. And isn't that crazy? A lot of coaches, you get to talk about your senior leadership on your team, and
we don't have any of that.
You don't have that yet. It's just kind of a weird dynamic because you don't. You've got leaders on the team, but you don't have guys that have been in a program for 4 years.
Nope.
And
we don't.
That's something that is just a different thing to navigate for a team and for a coach. So you've been a team that has played in a variety of football games this year. Obviously, you've had some one-score losses. You got to win at Fort Stockton, but your schedule is so strange because of the finishing of the stadium out there that you got to be happy districts here because, you've played 2 games at home, but starting with 4 in a row away from home and several of those, a couple of those, some pretty good little tracks. That's tough.
Right. Well, when we started putting this thing together last year, it was a situation where we were having a hard time trying to find games.
Yeah.
So anybody that really called, you were like, sure, yeah, we'll do it, and we'll come to your place. When you're when you're begging, it's hard to say, hey, can you come to our place?
Sure.
It was a tough thing trying to get, because I called everybody. I called from Abilene to Amarillo, El Paso to East Texas, just trying to find some games, and these are the ones that kind of fell in line. And Fort Stockton was super to us and said, we'd love to come play in a brand new stadium, and we had to stay away for for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Just so construction could try to finish up. And I think we were still working on that stadium about 5 o'clock that afternoon, that Friday.
Yeah.
And it's still ongoing. There's
Sure.
a lot of things that they're still working on, but it's a pretty cool place.
So now, I won't make you spend too much time on it, but just most recently coming off of a loss to Midland Greenwood, 42-14. Take us through what happened in that game.
Well, it's kind of the same song and dance that we've run into a couple of times. When we played Seminole, we played Monahans, and I think we pretty much played everybody in that other district except for Snyder.
Right.
So in those other games, it was a situation where we've got the opposing team's offensive and defensive lines are just so much bigger and stronger than ours, and they just the run game is so important, trying to stop it and then trying to keep ours going. And in the games that we were in, our running game was really good and allowed us to then throw the ball a little bit. But in the games we got blown out, it just comes down to physicality and
right.
something like that. And that was the same thing that we ran into the other night at Midland Greenwood. They're super. When you put the kind of talent that they have, and with that coaching staff that they have, they're going to be dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to bigger and stronger kids usually, and that's kind of what happened the other night.
Yeah, I mean the game is simplified. It can be won in the trenches quite a bit. So
every game is going to come down to that, and we're going to be there.
Yeah,
I promise you, we're going to be there. It's just we just got to keep going.
Yep, developing. We will look ahead to what you got up next, which I think is your hometown team. Is that right?
Right.
So you get that. That's kind of fun to open district. We'll take a look at the district and tell you what those other teams have looked like up to this point. And you got one in town, got a couple way up north, and a couple close by in the district. So we'll preview that. On the way, it is the Liberty Patriot Fan Zone, part of the high school fan zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Wednesday night. This is the high school fan zone, Liberty Patriot Fan Zone here on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com, 100.7 The Score mobile app, which you can watch there as well as listen. However you're joining us, we're glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Wednesday night. We're visiting with Coach Joe Sexton of the Liberty Patriot football team. And, Coach, we were talking about, the 1-5 start, not ideal, but your team is not, separated from anyone else in the district. No one has just been the cream of the crop or anything like that. Levelland's at 4-2 right now. Borger's 3-3. Estacado's gone 2-4, and Perryton's gone 2-4. So, on paper, it sure seems like this district is pretty wide open as you start out district play.
Right. Everybody right now is 0-0.
That's
brand
what matters.
New start. That was the first thing that we talked about on Monday when kids came out to practice, that really doesn't matter what's happened up to this point. Like everybody in the state of Texas said, their first district ball game, we are starting over.
Yeah.
Hope we learned a few things along the way, and we're going to forget the bad stuff, and we're just ready to get it on Friday night.
What is something you want to see your team, or maybe you have seen your team improve upon, but that has to get better as you enter district play?
I would say just consistency. I heard Coach Hooper talking about that on the way over. Just putting positive plays together and just keep them going. There'll be times we're going to rip off a 12, 13 play drive, and then it disappears. Then we can't do it again. And that has to do a lot with the teams we're playing, but just little bitty mental mistakes early. Penalties kind of chewed us up a little bit.
Sure.
And we have gotten better in that category. We're not, a lot of pre-snap penalties early. it's kind of like everybody else, I guess. But we've kind of overcome that, I would say, pretty well. So, just consistency, just trying to take care of the football every play and doing what you need to do every play. And we just try to play one play at a time, just like everybody else. So I think if we can do that, we've got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, and so often in high school football in particular, really all football, but one of the hardest things to do is get your team to play complementary football, and
right.
that seems to be something that's elusive for a lot of coaches out there. When you finally put something together on offense, your defense goes and lets up a big drive, or your defense gets a big stop, and then you go 3 and out on offense. That's something that I'm sure any coach would like to see improve.
Well, that's kind of like what we did against Greenwood. We had a quick start and had a chance to go up 2 scores, and then we don't do it.
Yeah.
We did that really the first time that I guess against Idalou we had a pretty quick start. Played really good until the last 4 minutes and 38 seconds of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of fell apart for us there, but Fort Stockton, we had 6 turnovers and win by a touchdown. And so you can do the math right there that we had lots of turnovers and we didn't do anything with them, or we'd have a touchdown and then give them a chance to score. So I think the more we play, we're just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you hope your team has learned is those early games, the 1-point loss to New Home, the 1 touchdown loss to Idalou, where you kind of give it up there. Is that something you feel like your team just kind of has to mature with, is learning how to win? Right,
and trying to make your body do what it needs to do when it's tired.
Yeah.
Fort Stockton went down and scored the tying touchdown, and you could tell we were really tired.
Sure.
Their last drive, and then they went for 2, and of course we all had flashbacks to the Idalou game. It was like, oh my gosh, we're going to go to overtime again, and then we go just like 4 plays, wham, 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 touchdown, and we take the lead again. So there's the youth is really good in some aspects like that.
Sure.
One thing that I think helps them a lot is as soon as we get back on the bus, I think they're over it, ready to move on. Coaches, it kind of stings a little bit.
It'll sit for a while.
Right.
Yeah. We will take a look ahead to the district, and in particular the next game up, the Perryton Rangers. Get into that coming up next, and close it down with the Fan Zone right here on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Wednesday. It's the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. I'm Chois Woodman, Kyler Brown, Jacob back behind the glass taking care of us tonight, and Coach Joe Sexton joins us in the First United Bank studio as we look ahead to the ball game this Friday night. Well, you told me you get to make a nice little long road trip tomorrow for JV up there to Perryton.
Well, the good thing is, since we only have one team going up there, our freshmen, like I said, our freshmen played tonight, and so we're going to take off right around 11 tomorrow and just make a full day of it.
Yeah.
That game got moved up to 4:30, so
you get home better.
Yeah, I think we'll be home 10:30.
That's
not
too bad. Well,
no.
Perryton, your hometown, so interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, I know how to get up there. I know I'm going to hear probably this statement from our coaches and our players. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
That's a drive.
No, we've still got 2 more hours. No, we still got another hour.
Heck, I remember when we'd play them in Dumas, and it was a long drive from Dumas. So.
Yeah, it is. It's a long way up there.
A lot longer way from here. But fortunately, varsity doesn't have to make that trip this time. You get them with the long road trip, maybe a little lag there. But this is a Perryton football team that does seem to have some talent. They're 2-4, but there's some talent, some athleticism there that they'll try to attack you with.
Yeah, they're pretty dangerous. Pretty much every team that we've played this year has had a quarterback that's deadly.
Yeah.
And no difference with Perryton. They've got a young man at quarterback who is incredibly dangerous. We're going to have to do everything we can do to try to slow him down and try to confuse him a little bit on his reads. So it's going to be a challenge for sure. He has some receivers to throw the ball to. He's got a good running back. Just like everybody else we played, they've got a really, really big and physical offensive line. So we're going to have to take advantage of all three phases of the game and try to do some stuff on special teams and just hopefully try to keep the ball away from them.
So we just talked about how the game can be won and lost in the trenches. How do you feel like you match up there?
Well, I'm going to say probably they're definitely going to be bigger than us, just because. So we're going to be behind the 8 ball again with size. So we're going to have to find a way to try to match how physical they play, and that's been a big thing for us every week. That's what we talk about. We have to match whoever we're playing, and I think that we've had a good week. We've had some good practices, and so we've got one more practice tomorrow, and I think we're going to be ready to go.
Perryton Rangers, the team that's coming in, this will be 3 home games in a row, so you're getting acclimated to the new stadium. That's got to be kind of nice.
That first game when we actually didn't have to go get on a bus and drive 4 hours, 3 hours, wherever. It was really nice. The kids loved it. They come down after class and we feed them a little bit, and we still don't have to get on a bus and go anywhere. And they get to walk about 25 feet out to the field, and
it's nice.
They actually have a locker room, and it's a real live locker room. It's not a classroom or a makeshift locker room in some places. So just the luxuries of being at home sure is nice.
So, Coach Sexton, if you're giving out a key or two, or you can give one on each side of the ball, what are the keys that you look for in Friday night's game?
Well, obviously the first thing, just like every other coach in the state of Texas, is we have to run the football. Yeah. We have to take care of the football. And we're gonna do everything that we can to try to have long, sustained drives. Sure. If that time of possession is in your favor, a lot of times you're going to be in good shape. Then on defense, we have to cause some turnovers.
Sure.
And we're doing pretty well when we cause some turnovers. So Coach Tolliver's defense, he constantly preaches rip at the ball. So I think we have to win that. And then special teams, Coach Dubry coaches our special teams, and he's always tinkering with stuff. So we're gonna have some stuff that he thinks that is going to go in our favor. So we have to probably win that phase also. So if we can do those, I think we can be in the game.
Coach, appreciate your time. Good luck on Friday. And,
it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it was great. Great having you. That's Coach Joe Sexton. Appreciate you listening tonight. Thanks to Jacob and Kyler across the way. It has been the High School Fan Zone here on 100.7 The Score.